Deprogramming and Reprogramming You. The mind is what we will deal with here. You have a mind. You are not your mind, but you have one. You have a body. You are not your body, but you have one. More importantly, you control your mind, and through your mind, you control your body. You get to choose what thoughts you place in your mind. So once you understand that, then you have control over how you think and how you interact in this world. This sounds very simple when it is stated like that. However, there are a few challenges that you need to overcome. You are not fully in charge of your thinking. Let me explain. You've been indoctrinated through the following: upbringing, schooling, and media. These three topics, upbringing, schooling, and media, have influenced your way of seeing things and therefore of how you react and think. Whether they were right or wrong, they have influenced you when you were very young to your current awareness. It is very possible that you are already aware of this programming, and hopefully you have already started to take steps to correct these misguided directions. We have the ability to change our own environment by controlling our actions through our thoughts. You change you, that is the bottom line, but you have got to know how to manage yourself correctly without letting the indoctrination stop you or interfere with you. Let us explain that in a diagram. If you take this basic picture of the mind and the body, the mind can be broken down into two parts: the educated mind and the emotional mind. These two minds influence the body. These two minds influence the body, and then the body can react. The educated mind is the mind that we can control. But we need to understand where this education is coming from. There is influence from social media, other people, television, podcasts, Netflix, just to name a few. You get to think or filter what you will accept as being the truth and worth your while in using. You see, you are the filter, and you need to filter out most of this education. When we do not filter what is coming into the educated mind, then we are allowing an external programming to literally get inside our head and send it through to our subconscious mind. When you allow anything into your mind unfiltered, this sets up a paradigm. A paradigm is really a pattern. So it's your paradigm, your pattern, your brainwashing. Brainwashing. We have to be blunt, and you need to recognize the truth. For good or other reasons, you make your decisions based on your paradigm that you have allowed into your conscious mind. The good news is that you can change this paradigm. You can deprogram and then reprogram you. The conscious mind is analytical. It can reason and make choices. It is you that makes the choice. See the points 1 to 5. It is a thinking mind, it's the educated mind, It's intellect. It chooses to accept or reject, and it can originate. The subconscious mind is reactive. It cannot reject. It must accept. The reaction depends on the programming, how you have been influenced while growing up, or how you have allowed the media to control your thinking. If you don't think that the media has influenced you, then just remember what a cool glass of Coca-Cola with fizzing bubbles looks like. See how that makes you feel. In my experience, I associated Coca-Cola as a refreshing, nice drink. I have, however, reprogrammed myself to now know that it is a glass of carbonated sugar water. And I also know that drinking this stuff daily will not give me life. It will give me a sugar rush, which I honestly do not need. What you need to understand is that you get to choose what can influence you. These choices need to be based on good, honest data and not adverts. It is not that easy because we have been indoctrinated over and over again over many years. This indoctrination has programmed us to think of various things automatically. It has caused our thinking to be reactive rather than analytical. Let us take the example of the Coca-Cola drink that we just spoke about. Do you think that Coca-Cola is worse than orange juice? I'm talking about processed orange juice. The reality is that processed orange juice falls into the same category as Coca-Cola because it is also full of sugar. Once again, we've been lied to by the media and the advertising companies. The point that I'm trying to make here is that you need to consider many things and be prepared to reprogram you. Not me reprogramming you, but you need to do it for yourself. Else you are just substituting one brainwash for another one. I'm not having a go at the Coke company or processed orange juice companies, but just trying to let you see the manipulation that has taken place over many years. Let us get back into the mind and how it is influenced. Power flows into the mind from the universe. You get to choose what to think and how to think, positive and negative thoughts. You then resonate these thoughts, positive or negative, through your body into your heart, and you are therefore the programmer of your heart, your body, your life. This is not woo-woo. This is how it is in this universe. You can try to ignore it and say that it is hogwash, but it is how it is. We are all frequencies, and we choose what frequencies to send out. We do this with our intention and our positive or negative thoughts. Have good intentions aiming at positive outcomes, and you will do well. Have bad intentions with negative aims, and you will pull in similar things that resonate bad or negative frequencies into your life. Let us now dive in deeper so as to explain this diagram of the mind, especially the conscious mind. You can start or stop something, say yes or no to something. It is up to you. The conscious mind is under your control. As long as you analyze what is coming into your mind, then you can control what you allow through to your subconscious mind. The vibrational law and the law of attraction. There is a power flowing into your consciousness. As the power comes in, your imagination gives you the ability to build a picture. You can build any picture that you want. You can allow your imagination under your control to create anything that you want. So then, build an image of what you want or want to achieve. Just stop and get the reality for one moment. You know that the imagination and the picture is easily doable. You just think of your item that you want to imagine and you have the picture in your mind. It's not about having a clear or colorful picture. It is just about having a picture that you can explain to someone. In this example, we have imagined a picture of a beach. There is a picture, but no actual beach as yet. This picture is in your mind. Now, if you really want to go to a beach like that, then you need to do the next steps. When you have a picture of what you want in your mind that you have just created, then you can hand that over to your subconscious mind. That then means that you are in control of your subconscious mind and not the media or television or schooling, but you. This picture can then be sent to your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind has to accept what you've sent to it. It is not from the media, it's not from the education system, it is from you. This picture is an origination from you. It sets up a vibration to your body. When you keep this picture or image resonating towards your body, then that will pull in things that will help create that image that you created. This is how you create things. It is how the physical vibrating universe works, like tuning forks. Here is a basic concept of resonating frequencies influencing material structures. Tuning fork A resonates at the same frequency as tuning fork B. If you strike tuning fork A, then A resonates and through sound frequency waves starts to vibrate tuning fork B. This is not magic, but a law of the universe. So when you resonate at your created frequency, then you will activate other things around you that resonate at the same frequency. You will attract that frequency. That is the law of attraction. All you need to do here is just get the concept that what you think about, you will start to attract. It is more detailed than that, but just recognize this concept. There will be a law of attraction video released shortly on this channel. Note, it will not attract before you create that frequency. So the image is required first. So back to your imagination. You get to imagine something and get to create a picture, and the picture is the frequency. This is the law of attraction and how it works. You need to understand the vibrational law before you can understand the law of attraction. You first set up the vibrational law, and that then causes the law of attraction to take place. So by you imagining something, then you create a picture in your mind. That picture is real because it exists as a frequency in your mind. The visualizing is where it starts, but recognize that it is under your control. You play with the power that is flowing through you, and you use that power to create the picture, which is a visualization frequency. You then pass that over to the emotional mind, which is a part of the subconscious. This sets up the vibration in the body, which we call feeling. Now you can feel your desire, which was the picture, the image that you created. So allow the feeling to come through, and this will make the vibration stronger. You can also write these desires onto paper or a Word document. This will enforce it even more. This lets you get nearer to your desire. This will eventually come out on your to-do list or battle plan. That is to say that you can eventually make this desire into a project and create tasks to get this thing that you want divided into targets and tasks. This all may seem to be woo-woo and unbelievable to you. That is understandable because we have never been taught that it is this way. One of the reasons is that we cannot see vibration. Some we can, but not the high frequency vibrations. We all need to step out of the jungle because, as stated previously, we live in a vibrating universe. Everything that you can see and touch is vibrating at its own frequency. Additionally, every thought that originates in someone's mind is an origination of a frequency from that mind. Alpha and beta waves, which are detected in the brain, are the range of frequencies that we can measure. Alpha runs between 8 to 12 Hz, and beta runs between 12 and 30 Hz. This is simply measuring our thought activity. The fact of the matter is that this is a universe that only exists with vibration. I'm not going to turn this into a science lesson, but if this was not a vibrating universe, then you would not be able to hear my voice. You would not be able to read the text on this video or see the pictures on your screen. Hearing, seeing, touching, smelling, and tasting all exist because of vibration. Okay, so we have introduced you to the two minds, the basic outside influence, the environment, and how you can control things going forward. Let us now go in for a second layer, a bit more detail. The poison from the environment. Our weakness is that we accept the poison from the environment into our lives and don't even filter it out. So you need to be very much aware of these incoming poisons so as to filter them out. We're talking about social media, other people, television, podcasts, Netflix, etc. Remember, this poisoning has been ongoing since your birth, so it is going to take a bit of confront to first get you to see it and then get you to start to remove the influence. This is just the start of your reprogramming, retraining. You see, your mind is influenced by sight, sound, smell, taste, and touch. It is a sort of an antenna, an aerial. Note, we hear, see, smell, taste, or touch something, and then we have a thought. We think that this thought was from us, but it was from our programming from parents or media. They have set the program to make us think a certain way. We forget or don't use the ability to use our mind and originate, or at the very least, direct this stimulus. You need to be reminded that you have perception, will, imagination, memory, intuition, and reason at your disposal and under your control. You may very well need to relearn how to use these functions. Learn how to use these higher faculties. These are perception, free will, imagination, memory, intuition, and reason. With perception, free will, imagination, memory, intuition, and reason at your disposal, Then you get to program what gets through to your subconscious and not from the media, education, or your upbringing. This is your power. This is your programming dictated by you, not by any outside influence. This is a different way of thinking. This is the paradigm shift when you put the power of decision back into your hands. If you think that you got good results from your education, but you are still not in full control of your life, then the results are terrible. Let's state that again. The results are terrible. Okay, school did give us some education, but did not allow us to take control of our own thoughts and therefore our own paradigms. Let's define paradigm. A theory or a group of ideas about how something should be done, made, or thought about. It's a theory. It's not necessarily true. You change your results by changing your paradigm. So start to use your perception, your free will, imagination, memory, intuition, and reason. You can then program you. You are the only filter that allows things to get to your subconscious and not from the media, education, or upbringing. How can you start to use your perception, free will, imagination, memory, intuition, and reason? For one thing, you can start the journey to self-improvement. The fact that you are already curious as to want to reprogram you is a great start. You already know that the normal system, in other words, the world, is not set up to allow for free thinkers, creative people, and self-motivating individuals. You can only change your paradigm through repetition. The point is that you are not going to do it from watching one self-improvement video. You're going to need to set up a strategy to change your life, the way that you operate. You can create the life that you want. You can create the life that you really want, but you will require change. You can create the life that you want really, but there is one catch. At this point, I need to define a word with you. Possibly you already know this word, but let's look at the word and the definition. The word is zeal. It means a strong feeling of interest and enthusiasm that makes someone very eager or determined to do something. You must really, really want it, the life that you want. Because if you don't really, really want it, then you will not go after it with zeal. You had better be true to yourself when you say that you really, really want it. You need real commitment and driving force. Have zeal. The paradigm is a way of thinking. If you don't like what is happening to you, then you have to change your paradigm. Change the way you think. Example, if you are always late and you don't like being late, stop saying that you will stop being late. Say that you like being early. Talk or think as if you have already accomplished it. State that you are 5 to 10 minutes early. This will get you to change your behavior to become early. You shifted your paradigm, and that changes the result. This is just the beginning of programming or reprogramming your subconscious mind. More focus on the mind. Let us consider ignorance, worry, and doubt on the one side, and knowledge on the other. Ignorance, worry, and doubt causes fear. This fear presses on the subconscious and causes anxiety. You have caused this by allowing the negative thought into your mind. You are in control of your mind, so don't let this take place. Allow knowledge in and then control the subconscious mind to play on a positive emotion, not a negative emotion. Knowledge then leads to understanding. This comes through being able to study. This builds a positive image of what you want. You can then set up a vibration called faith or trust. Both fear and faith or trust demand that you must believe in something that you cannot see. Faith or trust sets up a vibration called well-being. With this paradigm shift, you just do the right thing, and you do it every day, day after day. The results have to happen. This is the law of the universe. That is all. It is a law of the universe. Be consistent on doing the right thing. Take up good habits and run your life by them. Take a look at the laws that I live by on this channel. These are very good examples of good habits that bring you success. You will then experience positive growth. Growth is a normal part of life. If something is not growing, then it is dying. If we are going to grow, then there is one thing that we are going to have to do, and that is change. We cannot stay where we are and get better results. It just does not work like that. If you change your paradigm, then you will change your life. In your paradigm, you need to know where you are, and you need to know where you are going, and then you have got to get moving in that direction. If you don't have these already defined, then you already need to change your paradigm, your thinking. It is simple and it is so obvious. When unchecked paradigms stay in control, then nothing changes. Why do you need a paradigm shift? Simply because you've been programmed over time to accept almost all information coming into your mind without questioning it. In many cases, the information coming into you had an agenda. You just assumed that these agendas had your best interest at heart. But now you know better. Thoughts come into your mind. You choose what to do with those thoughts, and then you let them through to your subconscious, and then that controls your body. So when you let bad thoughts through, then your body is going to behave unwell. The inverse is also true. When you let correctly analyzed thoughts through, then your body will react in a much more in sync way and be more healthy. In both cases, you have caused it. The way that we act and move is an expression of what is going on in the mind. And unfortunately, it's an expression of what is going on in the subconscious mind. Ignorance and knowledge are complete opposites. If you are ignorant of something, then you lack knowledge of that thing. Once you have the knowledge of that thing, then you are no longer ignorant in that subject. This is, of course, obvious to most people, but there are a few details here that can sometimes be missed. You are the one that can change your state on a subject from ignorance to knowledge. That is to say that you can organize your life to overcome the ignorant part. You are the one that can then implement the knowledge by applying it. That is to say that knowledge is useless unless applied. How many times have you heard or seen someone brag that they know about this or that, but they never use the data? So you might hear someone say, I know that the news is BS, but they still watch it. and comment on it anyway. There is a lesson to learn from people that have knowledge but don't apply it. The lesson is, don't do what they do. Choose what knowledge you need by making sure that it can benefit you in some way. Then obtain that knowledge. Once that knowledge is obtained, then apply it, and then you can benefit from it. This will make the entire cycle of being aware of your ignorance, then plugging your ignorance by getting educated, in other words, obtaining the knowledge, and then applying it. You can then look back and have a win, have a pat on the back because you have improved your life. Well done to you. Many of you may see this as obvious, but it needs to be stated so that you are doing these positive steps in your life. This is what successful people do. So if you do not consider yourself successful, then you are missing all or some of the above steps. You can think anything you want, but the paradigm in the subconscious can alter your thinking. You can change your paradigm, but not many people do. So this is what you need to take charge of. This large circle represents the mind. You are the controller of the mind. You get to do the thinking. You get to control what type of thinking you will allow, positive or negative thinking. If you allow ignorance, then you're allowing negative thinking. You're then promoting anxiety into your mind and also your body. This brings on bad emotions, which results in disease and illness. But if you make a paradigm shift and not allow ignorance, then you will prevent the negative thinking. Allow knowledge by finding out what you need to solve or study. Then study it, solve it. You will then understand it. You can create the life that you want. You can create the life that you really want. People allow stuff into their lives and do not care to get educated on a subject, and then they worry about things that they are not educating themselves about, and this causes worry and doubt, which leads to fear and then anxiety. Then they treat themselves with painkillers, they drug themselves. It is a sad case of affairs. But when you don't know any better because you've been indoctrinated, I'm not making excuses for people, I'm just explaining at how it is. The way out is to face what it is that is making you worry. Educate yourself and allow your mind to change things. People suppress this issue and bottle it up, even more unhealthy for you. This then turns into depression. The depression will eventually cause your body to break down into a disease. Disease turns into disintegration. You cannot simplify it more. But we've been fed the idea that we catch things, or it is genetic, or you were born with it. We never observe that stress that we put ourselves through when we do not control our thinking, when we do not control our reaction to things. Your paradigm has been programmed to allow negative thoughts. It creates ignorance, worry, and doubt. It is the subconscious, so it cannot reject things because it cannot think for itself. It is reactive. You need to take back the charge and control of your mind and change your paradigm. It's time to reprogram. Reprogram using knowledge, education, and responsible thinking. Knowledge is understanding. There is only one way to get to understanding, and that is by educating yourself. This is called study. You can do it with books, research, documentaries, videos, but it needs to be done so as to take the knowledge and turn it into understanding and then reasoning. What comes next is application. You will then learn how to win. This can then be in whatever area you need to go in. This is for health or for well-being and of course wealth. These are all advancements in your life, and you have to advance in your life so as to win. Not go backwards, not stay the same, but go forward. Winning brings about a feeling of well-being. People that are in a state of well-being are energized. They move faster than those who are suppressed. They are not being positive for positive sake. They understand what they are doing. They have proven systems that manage their lives. They use systems so as to manage their lives because they understand that they work. Here are some self-improvement systems: time management, projects and products, to-do lists, in other words, battle plans, gradients, laws to live by. Of course, they have tried them out, proven them to be effective, became experienced from them, and therefore they use them. That is their understanding, and that is then their way forward. When you find something that works for you, then you stick with it. When something does not work, you find out why it does not work, and then you correct it. It's a no-brainer, but it has to be said. Both successful and unsuccessful people are playing the same game in the same universe. There is not luck in understanding. It's just that the successful person uses his or her mind to change their paradigm and not let BS get into their lives. When BS starts to come in, they detect it immediately and put a stop to it. This is experience and understanding. Unsuccessful people allow the negative thought to influence their subconscious mind, and they therefore get a bad result. Successful people do not allow negative thoughts to influence them. They see the negative thought. They are able to face it, in other words, not shy away from it, and handle it. See the positive and negative thoughts video from this channel that deals with this. And here is the clincher. Knowledge plus study leads to understanding. Then there is some faith or trust in what we are doing because we have done it many times before and been successful. This turns into well-being, which is expressed and is then accelerated. That is to say that the well-being is accelerated because successful people are at ease. Good vibrations, call it what you will, but this is how it happens. Well-being has been measured at 528 Hertz. This is not woo-woo, it is part of this universe. Energy flows freely into your mind, filtered by you in a positive way. No major blocks or negative thoughts or fear, no ignorance, just understanding, resulting in the successful person being at ease. The successful person can then create, causing creation, not disintegration. Disintegration causes disease, creation causes life and living. It's your choice. Ignorance, fear, and anxiety leading to disintegration and disease, or knowledge, understanding, well-being, expression, acceleration, at ease, and creation. There is a constant input coming into you that can influence your thinking, but now you know that you must let this go through your filter system of you. Your conscious thinking needs to clarify what is coming in and decide what can either be accepted and use it to positively influence you and your body, or reject it because you consider it negative, a negative thought that you do not need. This is an important point to observe because you should not allow negative thoughts to influence you. In fact, don't allow anything into your thought process that will not benefit you. The internet is a brilliant source of information that is available to us nowadays. However, it is flooded with nonsense and too much noise, too many distractions. So this is where you need to use your intelligence and experience to see what you will allow into you to influence you. In my experience, I dismissed 99% of all the news that was coming into my area. I was then relieved of so much useless information. This freed up lots of time for me. I no longer allowed myself to view these news channels. It removed most of the negative information. In my opinion, most news is just a dramatization of useless information. It's a paradigm well worth changing. Try it. This may not sit well with some people, and I understand that because they value the news as a need to know. All I'm saying is just try to ignore all news for a period of 2 weeks and see how that affects you or changes your life and your thinking. You can always turn it back on again at a later stage. In my experience, I keep it turned off. This allows so much more of my attention for positive things that change my life for the better. So we've discussed how the power from the universe comes into you. Your senses are the aerials that pick this up. If you do not filter out this constant information, the five senses, and you let them get into the subconscious mind, then this mind cannot distinguish between real and false information. So this means that even a fictitious horror movie or a highly violent movie is still manipulating your mind and can therefore place it in a stressful situation. This gets it into a fight or flight mode and can most certainly affect your health. This is more proof that news and media and the entertainment industry needs to be reduced to a minimum. You can watch it, but recognize that it is not going to do you any good. You will be the person that knows the latest gossip of this or that conflict. Are there points in a game for you for that? You might be the winner. Personally, I have more important things to do that will add to my successful living, so I choose to do the things that assist me and improve my life. I will most certainly fail any test on what is the latest conflict or drama on the media machines. You can change. It requires commitment and consistency. This is part of the change. You must not compete with anyone other than yourself. Always compete with yourself because this is the best way to manage you. If you stay the same, then you have not done enough. If you get worse, then you have lost your intention and interest. If you have got better, then you are on the right track. Change for the better. Change your paradigm from not doing what is right to doing what will add to your success. What I can strongly advise is that you make a change to self-improve you. Use the tools on this channel or search for many ways to put you back in the driving seat of your life. Improvement should be a normal way of living. When you stop improving, then you need to ask why. If you found value in this video, then take a look at all the tools that we have available on this channel. Check out the playlists and the homepage. All you need to do is one positive move every day, and this will soon add up to your success in your life. Great future to you ahead. Best regards, lots of healing.